Welcome to 24 Days of Cloud, bite-sized tips every day to help you on your journey to adopt the cloud securely, safely and quickly. So far, we've looked at the cost management journey through commercial constructs, like reserved instances or reducing your spend through reducing wastage. However, there's another angle to cost management, which is efficiency. By never incurring the cost in the first place, our workloads are naturally more cost effective. So while balancing this with the risks introduced by more complexity can be tough, worry not. Many of the patterns have been honed over decades and are easy for us to apply. Firstly, caching in any form is an incredibly low-cost way to reduce the compute effort required to serve applications. Now, while it's easily implemented in websites and other similar style applications, the patterns can be lifted and they can be applied not only to reduce cost, but also to improve performance and predictability. Let's take the sample of a news website. We have rapidly changing content, we have personalization, we have customization. We might have variations for countries, for regions, or for different cities, and a huge backlog. News websites are troublesome to cache. It's commonly misunderstood that because of the dynamic nature, it's impossible to cache, resulting in a much higher cost of compute. But thankfully, this is not the case. There are a couple of patterns we can take. Firstly, cache for 1 second. It sounds counterintuitive, but caching even for 1 second will reduce in a significant drop in compute requirements for a platform. If you think a platform has to serve 100 requests per second, if that can be served from a more scalable layer, like a CDN or an object cache, the effective request per second rate drops to 1. Other pieces include edge or client-side includes. So instead of assembling the entire website, the entire page on a server, you assemble it partially through different pieces. You'll provide a template that gets downloaded to the client device like a browser, and then different calls are made across the internet. Some pull in personalization, some pull in from dynamic content. This reduces the compute cost because you're not recreating the entire page every single time. Now, on high latency networks where multiple requests can be troublesome, you can even do this at the CDN layer. That reduces your cost, your compute, but still maintains performance in that high latency environment. You can also use variant caching. So in our news site example, we talked about the variants required for different cities, different countries, different regions. By still caching those through what's called a cache key, which is where the cache looks up what's served back to a customer, we can maintain these different variants and then serve the right one to the right person, providing that single URL, so none of our schema changes, none of our SEO changes, but the end user experience can be varied depending upon what they need. Now, while these examples may seem specific to a news website or a similar problem statement, the same principles can be used within your entire infrastructure architecture. For instance, information used by an enterprise application, such as a loan lending rate, can use caching even for a second, use variants, depending upon the model. Ultimately, managing cost isn't just about optimizing spend. Sometimes it's from stopping the spend happening ever at all. So I encourage you to look for more opportunities for you to introduce efficiency at the right time within your architectures. Thank you.